Hi there, so I'm going to help you with problems 90 through 101. Number 90, we're just talking about memorizing these because they're just really handy to know. So 10 squared is 100, 11 squared is 121, 12 squared is 144, 13 squared is 169, 14 squared is 196. Notice how these two are kind of, close to each other. And the last one, 15 squared, is 225. Moving on. Just memorizing these, they're really handy as you get into finding cubed roots or, situations where you need cubes. 2 cubed is 8 because it's 2 times 2 times 2. 3 cubed, 3 times 3 is 9 times 3 is 27. 4 cubed, 4 times 4 is 16, and 16 times 4 is 64. 5 cubed, 5 times 5 is 25, times 5 again is 125. So just memorize those. On to the next part. Number of feet in a mile, just something to memorize, 5,280. It's just handy. There's miles obviously comes up a fair amount in our customary measurement system, and 5,280 gives you an idea when you see a sign that says, it's 3,000 feet to the next whatever. Well, a half mile's around, 2,600 feet. If they said that the oil leak was down, 10,000 feet below the ocean, you'd go, oh, wow, that's like 2 miles. Or, for instance, if the plane is up, at 26,000 feet, well, you can go, well, it's about 5,000 feet in a mile. So it's just handy to know. Next one, distance, rate times time. This is a famous formula, D equals R times T, that we use in problem solving a lot. Next one to memorize, how many ounces in a pound? There are 16 ounces in a pound. So if you have a 1 pound steak, you're talking 16 ounces. Next one, weeks in a year. Again, just something that's handy. 52 weeks in a year. Other common ones, 365 days. And technically, since there's a leap year every 4 years, it's 365.25 days in a year. And another one that's kind of handy is there's 2,000 hours in a work year. That's just if you're talking 40 hours a week times 50 weeks, if they assume you get 2 weeks off in a year, that's about 2,000 hours. And the reason 2,000 hours is kind of handy to know is just because if you wanted to know, for instance, how much money you were going to make at 10 bucks an hour, you can times 2,000 hours times 10 and get an idea that that's about $20,000. All right, moving on. A liter is about how many quarts? Well, it's exactly 1.06 quarts. But since this has a squiggly equals in there, I'd have to accept anything that's close to a quart. So basically a liter and a quart are about the same. So that means a gallon, which is, there's 4 quarts in a gallon. A gallon would be like about 4 liters. So if you go and fill up your car with gas in like Germany or whatever, they're going to be doing it in liters. And I want you to have an idea that those are actually kind of small. They're like 1/4 of a gallon. Next up, 1 inch is about how many centimeters? Well, I'm going to give you, it's not about how much, it says equals. So we need an exact answer here. 2.54 centimeters in each inch. Moving on, a pint of water. On this one, it's kind of vague. A pint of water equals what? Well, it equals a pound. 1 pound. One of my brother's favorite sayings is a pint's a pound the world around. It's just handy to know that a pound of water and a pint of water are the same size. So if you have a pint, like the cafeteria milk cartons at a school are typically a half of a pint. So 2 of those together, now this is of milk, but it's close to the same as water. 2 of those would be about a pound. So if you had 2 cartons of milk, you're talking about around a pound. But again, that really only holds for water. A pint of water, I also accepted several other answers that are related, like how many cups there are in a pint and all that kind of stuff. But the main thing I was aiming for here was a pint is a pound. Just a little saying that could serve you well in life. Define sine. Well, just saying that I hope you learned SOHCAHTOA. SOHCAHTOA helps us to remember what sine means. Sine means the opposite over the hypotenuse. And that, if you're looking at a triangle, if I had an angle here, for instance, the one that's opposite from it is over here, and the hypotenuse is always the one that's across from the right angle. So this is the hypotenuse in this case. And so there's three basic things. There's opposite from the angle, and that's like you go across from it over here. There's adjacent to the angle, which is if the angle's right here, the adjacent side is the one that's right next to it. And the last is the hypotenuse. So sine is opposite over hypotenuse. Next one up, cosine. Cosine is adjacent to ka, so in the SOHCAHTOA. So it's adjacent, adjacent, over hypotenuse. And the last one is tangent, and tangent is toa in SOHCAHTOA. And so tangent is opposite over adjacent. So again, if you're looking at a triangle, and let's say I was looking at it from this angle's perspective, the one that's opposite from it is across from it, so that would be this side, over the one adjacent to it. Adjacent to this angle is this side. Adjacent means right next to. And so let's say this is like 8 and this is like 5. Then tangent of this angle, tangent means the opposite side, like the 8, over the adjacent, which is like the 5. I'm not meaning to try to teach you all of trigonometry here, just remind you the definitions of sine, cosine, and tangent. And that's all we have for you on this one.